Section 4. You will hear part of a lecture on diet and nutrition given by a medical specialist to a group of interns. First, you have some time to look at questions 31 to 40. Listen carefully and answer questions 31 to 40.
Today, I'm going to be talking about our nutritional habits. You should be aware that nothing is more crucial to health than nutritional habits. Therefore, as future cardiologists, knowledge about diet and nutrition are of paramount importance to you. To begin with, a healthy diet plays a vital role in lowering many chronic health risks, such as obesity, heart disease, diabetes, hypertension, and cancer. Consequently, proper nutrition not only improves general health, but also maintains it. In fact, the World Health Organization estimates that 3 million deaths every year are attributable to a diet low in fruit and vegetables. Of these deaths, 19% are due to gastrointestinal cancer, 31% are the result of heart attacks, and 11% are attributable to strokes, making a healthy diet one of the leading preventable causes of death worldwide. But what does a healthy diet entail? It's pretty simple, really. It involves consuming the appropriate amounts of essential nutrients and an adequate amount of water. And as nutrients can be obtained from many different foods, there are numerous diets that may be considered healthy. However, one thing is certain. A healthy diet needs to meet our nutritional needs. This can be achieved by consuming the right balance of macronutrients, such as fats, proteins, and carbohydrates, and micronutrients, such as vitamins and minerals. Now, to help achieve this balance, many institutions have drawn up dietary recommendations that have been designed to promote good health. And I believe it's imperative you become familiar with what these institutions have recommended in order to help your future patients. The World Health Organization is one of these institutions. As you probably know, it's a specialized agency that's concerned with international public health. What you may not know, though, is that it has made the following 6 dietary recommendations with respect to the general population. And trust me, these recommendations are always foremost in my mind when I advise my patients on healthy eating habits. Firstly, the World Health Organization recommends that we should achieve an energy balance and a healthy weight. This means that, to avoid weight gain, the number of calories we consume and the number of calories we burn should be in equilibrium. The best way to do this is to engage in physical activity in combination with the consumption of moderate amounts of food. Secondly, the agency proposes we limit our intake of total fats. At the same time, we need to shift our fat consumption away from saturated fats to unsaturated fats. In effect, this dictates a shift from animal-based fats to plant-based fats. Thirdly, the WHO advises that we increase our consumption of fruits, vegetables, legumes, whole grains, and nuts. All of these food sources contain quality proteins, fats, and energy, which secure good health. The next recommendation the organization makes is that we should limit our intake of simple sugars. In other words, we should avoid eating processed foods and sweets that include sugar. Instead, we should consume complex sugars, which can be found in fruits and vegetables. This, of course, can be a problem, as we all know that junk food and sweet temptations have become a staple part of modern life. Moreover, it also suggests we increase our intake of essential micronutrients, such as vitamins and certain minerals. In my opinion, this is very important because nutrition is not just about energy and protein, but also about helping the body rebuild its cells, a process which essential micronutrients help carry out. Last but not least, the agency advises that we should limit our consumption of salt and ensure that any salt we eat be iodized. This is rightly seen as the most important recommendation cardiologists should make to their patients, especially when taking into account how much excess salt raises the risk of suffering a heart attack. In addition to dietary recommendations for the general population, there are many specific diets that have been developed to promote better health in specific population groups. These groups include people with high blood pressure who follow low-salt diets, or people who are overweight and follow weight loss diets. However, some of these specific diets may also benefit people who do not fall into a specific group. Let's take the example of a low-salt diet. The Cochrane study, which was published a few years ago, concluded that a low-salt diet reduces blood pressure, not only in people with hypertension, but also in people with normal blood pressure. And since you all want to become cardiologists, you're probably aware of this diet and the benefits it offers. Its major features are, of course, limiting salt intake and encouraging the consumption of nuts, whole grains, fish, poultry, fruits, and vegetables, while discouraging the consumption of red meats, sweets, and sugar. Now, we all know that eating properly is good for our health, but why do so many of us fail to do so? Well, the answer may well lie in our upbringing and our psychology. Studies have suggested that, from a psychological perspective, a healthy diet may be difficult to stick to for people with poor eating habits. This may be due to dietary habits acquired in early adolescence and preferences for sugary, salty, and fatty foods. After all, it's a well-known fact that the nutritional experiences we have in childhood affect our perspective on food consumption in later life. They also affect how we perceive the sizes of our meals and the amount of food we consume daily. Therefore, you, as future cardiologists, should always try to promote healthy eating habits, even for younger patients. After all, we, as doctors, should realize more than any other group that prevention is better than cure.
That is the end of section 4. You now have half a minute to check your answers. That is the end of the listening test. You now have 10 minutes to transfer your answers to the listening answer sheet.